Casey and I split up again this morning. He had a real close encounter with that big 8 that we saw 2 nights ago. He had a real close encounter last night, so he's headed back over there. I'm back over here on public, hunting the spot I got kicked out of yesterday. Hoping to see that half rack again. Big old brute with the broken ear and the broken rack. Hopefully I can get a buck to either him to come in or some other. It's been very quiet this morning, and then the wind picked up to about 7 or 8 miles an hour and made it a pretty good morning, and then now it's dead again, which is kind of weird. But anyway, birds are waking up. Deer are going to start moving soon. They're a little bit late on this property usually, but whether or not we get it done this morning, we have to head home back to Texas for a few days and just make sure the family's good and everything's good around the home before we head out again and try to make something happen here in the middle or latter part of November. I was on last night. I mean, I could not believe that deer didn't come in and off me and shot some way. His nose hung out an hour within range of me. Then he went out across this CRP field back here behind. But now I can see a big buck cruising about 400 yards away out there, the direction that he went last night. I can see 2 shooter bucks out there in the CRP. Pretty far away. Just set to the west, which means it's been up all night and it's pretty pretty much full. So that buck's probably been chasing all night. He got tired. He bedded down out in the CRP. So I'm kind of keeping an eye on that area, watching a few other deer here and there, trying to make some calls. I can't get him to stand up. I guess I just can't be loud enough. He's far enough away.
That's gonna about here do it for me. I got about 15 minutes left before I gotta get down, go get cleaned up, and roll. I gotta teach class tonight in Texas. I really thought that 9 point would sooner or later come check out those grunts and see what was over here while making all that ruckus, but I don't know what the deal was. I mean, I do know that my wind has been kind of iffy. At some points in time, it would kind of blow back that direction, so he very well might have winded me at some point in time through there, but even whenever I could see him and I was grunting, he wasn't really reacting to him as much as I'd like. It's been fun. He's a good deer. I would love to shot him, I think.
I guess that concludes my rutcation. A lot of deer, a lot of fun. Some sits that weren't so much fun. Had a great time. Saw a lot of cold weather, some cool action this morning. Those deer kind of worked off to the south and west after the frenzy started, and the doe didn't like it much. And I was just hoping she'd come over here, even though it was kind of a long chance. But anyway, they moved off, and now I have got to get back, clean up, and organize, and head back to Texas. I'm excited to see my family. It's been a ragged and kind of long road to this final day of rutcation, but man, I couldn't ask for a whole lot more, really. Got to experience some beautiful creation and see some cool things, and learn a lot, that's for sure. So anyway, I guess there's a buck right there. Oh my goodness. I got some footage of that buck. Has a really heavy 8-point. That's just, I tried to be positive in this final interview, but that's kind of just a cherry on top of the trip. We've been so close here so many times, and yeah, I got it done in Texas, but this Kansas trip has just been close call after close call. And I guess when you hunt like this, just kind of guerrilla style, where you just take off and just beat the ground and do the public land thing and hunt by yourself and film, stuff like this is gonna happen. But he was 40 yards right there, and of course I've got this tether on my wrong side. I've got the bow on the opposite side. I've got a rangefinder sitting in my backpack, and my arrow fell off my wrist when I pulled it off the bow hanger here, and it was just not meant to happen, you know. But anyway, I guess I'm gonna wrap it up, go home. I hate to leave while bucks are moving around, but I can't stay all day. It has to end sometime, and I've got a lot to do before I leave, so guess that's what I'm gonna do. Pick up and go home now. So what I was trying to get to is that all the pieces of my rig were starting to be packed up and already hanging up in different places, so I didn't want him to be looking at me or coming to me while I was putting together the pieces of my rig to get a shot, and so I didn't get grunted at him until I got them together, and he was about 90 degrees off of my wind. At that point, it was pretty easy for him to swing around and basically get my wind. He spooked off, so that was unfortunate. That day was a magical day. There was just crazy action happening all morning, which I didn't stay there until about 9 o'clock. That was it. Ended up going and pulling the stand with KC, checking the camera, and about 11 o'clock on the way home, while we're pulling the stand, a shooter buck comes through. Like while we're pulling the stand, he's like, you know, 80 yards from us, and probably only like 100 yards off the road in the broad daylight, sunshine, right off the road at 11 o'clock in the day. So it's just one of those magical days that you want to be in the woods. Unfortunately, we were driving the long trip back to Texas and spending it in a truck pretty much. So don't forget to subscribe, because we've got a ton of, pretty much the whole month of November is still ahead in our series here. And in the next series, a big buck goes down on public land. You don't want to miss it. So subscribe.